Hello epic gamer boys and gamer girls, it's your boy here once again, the Ethical Badger, and today we're doing the 16 personalities test. This is a test I have done before, and I think the last time I took it I got INTJ. I'm not sure what that means, but I might just flash a little explanation up on screen. Let's see what I get today. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. I don't know, I feel like that depends on the situation. I feel like for me, sometimes too many people can be a bit overwhelming, but I do enjoy, a good party, but it really has to be the right people, and the vibe has to be good, because that's just what I enjoy, so I think I'll hit one of them. I think I would say yes, but I don't pursue them necessarily. They come in my mind and they probably spend too much time in my brainal process, but yeah, I'll probably agree on that. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Well, that is absolutely false. Fun story. I went on a road trip with one of my friends last year, and she did a full PowerPoint presentation of our road trip, and it was the most wonderful thing in the world, and I loved it. So that's a disagree, sorry. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place. Oh my god, it's all the time. I have this weird thing where I'm like, I'll think of an opening to a conversation, and it's like I have to pull it off. It's really weird. I don't know if that's an egocentric thing. I probably have a problem, but I'm always thinking about that. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try and solve the problem. Well, I would say supporting them emotionally is the first step in solving their problem. You comfort them. You make sure that they're in a good place. You try and calm them down so that you can have a discussion about the problem and try to resolve it. So I would say yes, but I would also say that is the first step in solving the problem. People can rarely upset you. That's an interesting one, because I feel like sometimes people will say a joke, and in general, I'm pretty good with jokes. I take it on the chin, just like but there are times when it maybe hits me and I don't show it so much, or I try not to show it, and I maybe seem like I take it too seriously. But I would say I'd go for an agree on that. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. That is absolutely true. I like things to be organised in general. I mean, I don't mind going with the flow, but if I have a plan, I like to stick to it. So yes. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. No, I am quite good. I love spending time with people, but I can always find ways to entertain myself. I can always think of something to do, a la hello YouTube. Yes. So I would say disagree. That's not a challenge at all. You are more of a detail-oriented than a big picture person. I would say yes in general. I like to take things one step at a time. Sometimes I get stressed and worry about the bigger picture, but in general I'm thinking about each individual step. So like at the moment, I've got to pass my driving test, and then I go back to uni, I do my course. I'm not even worrying about what I'm going to be doing for a job, because that's just too far in the future. That's too big picture for me. I'm literally just taking it step at a time and going with the flow, baby. So yes. You are very affectionate with people you care about. I try to be. It's something I do struggle with sometimes with my friends. Obviously when I'm drunk, that side of me unleashes itself. So I would say I'm not very, so I'd say I'd give a moderate agree. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. I would say I have a careful and methodical approach to certain tasks within life, but in general, I try not to give too much of a fuck. So I wouldn't say, so I'd say disagree slightly. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. That is a disagree. In the past, that would be an absolute agree. When I was a child, I used to sit in the corner and drink soya milk like a little cuck boy, but now I like to get down and dirty with the party people, as they say. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. I would say I understand that. I'd understand why emotions guide people, because emotions are very strong and we all have them, and it's very easy to let them lead them. I do sometimes struggle with people who aren't, because I'm someone who can control my emotions to a very minute degree, I would say, at times when I need to. I'm good at like having self-dialogue and shutting down things when they need to be shut down. So I think people who I see it personally as a positive when someone is able to control their emotions. So I think that shows a level of maturity, that shows a level of self-control, of kind of development of oneself. So difficult to relate, I would say a slight degree. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Absolutely not. I have to ease myself in. That would make me feel very uncomfortable. Unless, of course, as I mentioned before, I was drunk or tipsy, in which case I would not give a fuck. So I'd disagree on that one. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. Yes, absolutely. At one time, I had a dream that a giant gorilla in purple pants capsized a pirate ship I was on. So, I would say I agree. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say okay. I would say, to be honest, necessary in the society we've created. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that is nature, and it's what, that's the laws of the jungle, baby. So, okay, maybe a little bit. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Absolutely. I'm quite a fan of playing badminton. Ooh, sports boy. Ooh, yeah. Whenever I make a mistake, I'm like, you shit. You've come absolutely nowhere in 5 years you've been playing. Why? How could you make such a mistake, you fucking defective boy? So, but I don't say I doubt myself for long. I pick myself up, but I do doubt myself. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. This is absolutely true. If I'm at a social event, I will accidentally death stare at people I don't know whilst talking to people I do know, waiting for the people I don't know to come up to me and introduce themselves, at which point, obviously, I will try and be very friendly and probably get to know them, and it will be fine. But yeah, I am a very visually not very approachable person, which is great. So I guess I agree. You lose interest in a discussion when it gets wow, why am I defective today? Philosophical. I think that'd be depending on who it is. If I'm with someone who I think I can hold that conversation with, and I can have a worthwhile conversation, then I would say I would keep that convo going. But if like I'm not in the mood, or I'm with someone who is just chatting shite, I'd be like, right, we ain't going down this road. Sozza. You would not let yourself cry in front of others. Well, I have cried in front of people before. I do try to avoid crying. I'm not really much of a crier anyway. It's not much I can really do about that. But I don't mind crying in front of people. I just don't like making people feel awkward or like they have to comfort me or whatever. So it would only be certain people I feel comfortable crying around. But I would say a mild degree. I would say you'd never let yourself. A mild disagree. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than more quiet and intimate ones. Now this is something I'm very 50-50 on. Is I like being in busy places. I don't like things being too rammed, but I do enjoy busy places and a lively atmosphere. But then I also like going to quiet and intimate places. I like a really nice balance between the two. But I would say a mild disagree because of the fact I don't like tightly packed crowds, and I like to get places quite quick. So if there's a big crowd of old people being fucking slow, I'm like, literally move out the way. I've got my whole life to live. You've got not much. Let me get places in the speed I want to. Thank you, Grandma. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. Oh, that's a tough one. I would say I often do listen to my heart, but then my head will come in later on to rationalize me. So I'd say primarily I do listen to my heart, but then the head comes in later. So I'll do a mild agree. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. I'm a little weak-ass pissant bitch. I forgive someone literally 30 minutes after they might have cut off my fucking testicles. Honestly. So that's a forgive. That's it. I prefer to forgive. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or message of a song or a movie. It depends on the nature of the film. If I feel like the song or the film is asking for that to be done to it, I will do it, if that makes sense. Consent, baby. So yeah, if I feel like there is a deeper meaning, or it's a film I really enjoy and get my teeth stuck into, I'll do that. I'll try and do that. So I'd say that's an agree. You always know exactly what you want. No, I'm a Libra sis. I am the most indecisive little bitch on the planet. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. No, because there are certain times when I think of a time where I could have had some wham bam thank you ma'am action, and I turned it down because I'm a frigid bitch, and I could have had a really good time. So I would say a mild disagree. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. Well, that's a very specific one. What's happened to this poor quizmaker in their life? Yeah, I think that's a fair one, because if someone thinks highly of you, it's like you don't want to disappoint them. You want to keep that going, and it's a good feeling when someone praises you and thinks you're a good person or thinks highly of you. You want to do your best for them. So I'd say that does play on my mind. It's like, what could I do that would disappoint this person? So I'd say a middle agree. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. If I'm drunk, yes, otherwise, no. You often drift away into daydreaming and about various ideas and scenarios. Absolutely all the time. I don't believe those ideas could be concrete. I don't dream about those ideas, but my brain just wanders and I'll be thinking about shit, and I will suddenly be completely disconnected from a conversation, just drifting around like a little fairy-ass defective brain bitch boy. So, yes. You look after yourself first and others come in second. Well, to be honest, that is something I always preach, is put yourself first. I'm very individualistic, like, look after yourself. If everyone looks after themselves first, then everyone's looked after, kind of thing. And then you can think about helping each other out later. People who aren't able to look after themselves can have someone, but always I say self first. But do I practice what I preach? Not always. I like to look out for people. I think sometimes, maybe without realizing it, I do put myself first in times when I would want to put myself second. I would say I'd give a mild agree. Even when you have planned a particular daily route, you usually just end up doing what you feel at any given moment. Sometimes, yes, but in general I'll stick to my plan. So disagree. Your mood can change very quickly. Hell yes, I can go from happy to pissed off very quickly, but also I'll change back very quickly. I don't stay angry for long, but when I do get angry, it can be literally a flip of a coin, a little change, and bang. Angry boy is out to play. You often contemplate the reason for human existence or the meaning of life. I used to, but now I just don't give a fuck. I just enjoy living my life, to be honest. So, disagree. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. Again, it's one of those situations, it depends what people I'm with. I do like talking about my emotions, because I feel like if I get it out there, and vocalize it, it's kind of real, and I can actually tackle it and cope with my emotions. I think that helps a lot, so I'd say agree. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. No, but that is what every adult in my life seems to think. Whenever I meet a new adult, or like friends of families, and they ask me what I do, and I say I study French and drama at university, they go, "Oh, so you're going to become a French actor then?" And I go, "No, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, why do I have to suddenly, because I do those two things, that has to be what I do? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going with the flow. I'm taking life where I want to take it." I disagree. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. Absolutely agree. I'm very much a believer. There's something, I'm going to show my spicy politics a little bit here, but there's something Jordan Peterson said in the way of life is like a game of chess. You know, you got your board, you got your pieces, and you have to kind of stick within that, but the way you move your pieces is totally up to you, the order in which you move them, your strategies. So like you have a lot to work with, but within a certain framework, and that's what I believe is like, you got it, some things you should have to accept, whereas other things you fucking don't, and you can do what you want. I'm a big believer in that, so I would say I'm a realist. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organised and consistent efforts. I would like to say it's more organised and consistent efforts, but when I'm sat in front of an essay, I'm very much stop, start, and it'll be little bursts of when something pops into my head, bang, 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 it all comes out, and then I'll just stop for like 20 minutes and be like, bored now, I gotta do something else. My brain is like firing like all times, my brain is like on coked up all the fucking time. So I'd say agree. After a long, exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. Fuck yes. Does that need any explaining? Absolutely not. Agree. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. All the time. I'm constantly talking about when I'm 70 years old and my cancer will be cured and I'll be wearing this crazy exoskeleton that'll allow me to jump off fucking buildings even though my body is arthritic and crumbling. So yeah, I'm constantly thinking about that because it's fun. You still honour the commitments you have made even if you have a change of heart. No, in general I tend to go with how I'm feeling at the time. If something I don't feel comfortable with doing something else, I've changed my mind on something, I'll be very open about it, be like, look, I've changed my mind, I don't want to do this, this is how I'm feeling. This is just how it is. I'm not gonna suck your penis, man, okay? You rarely feel insecure. I would say I used to feel more insecure back in the day. I'd say nowadays I tend not to feel insecure. I tend to just not give a fuck anymore because now I'm what is known as, I don't know if you heard of it, a bad bitch. That's me. So, I would say you rarely feel insecure. Agree. See results. Oh shit. We have ISFP-T adventurer. I'm 65% introverted. Oh shit. 56% observant. 67% feeling. Oh, yes. 45% prospecting. I'm quite balanced. 56% turbulent. Push the limits of social convention. True. I'm a bit of a wild child, let's say. Adventurers enjoy upsetting traditional expectations with experiments in beauty and behaviour change. Chances are they've expressed more than once in the phrase, don't box me in. Yeah, I don't like labels, I don't like being put in a box, I like just living my fucking life. One example of that, I'm a very effeminate man, I don't know if you can tell. And I really like to push the boundaries of being straight and effeminate. I think, why the fuck can't you be that? Effeminate does not equal gay, and I like to push those boundaries and just be like, hey, I'm a straight dude, I like pussy, but also look at me being fucking extravagant and extra as fuck. I want to have a look at what other celebrities are adventurous. Lana Del Rey, oh fuck yeah, she's fit, okay. Britney Spears, hello, it's Britney, bitch. Uh-oh, oh no. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. I am just off to hand myself into the police for being a convicted paedophile. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, spicy gamers.